world where you have sunsets that carry the same depth of feeling that they do out here, particularly when accompanied to the backdrop of the Drakensberg Mountains. And this is really one of the more spectacular ones. And the reason that I say that is there is a sense of expectation in the air as night falls. The prey animals are all on high alert. The predators are starting to come out and move around as it gets a bit cooler. And you get the calls of the woodland's kingfishers as they start to head home for the night. And spectacular to think that the view that you are looking out on is one of the biggest wilderness areas in the entire world. Larger than some small countries. And on evenings like tonight, it's quite easy to transport yourself back to 500, 600 years ago. I imagine that the first people to have roamed these lands must have been as taken by the sunsets as we are. Oh, something that is always worth doing is, no matter how frantic the search for all kinds of wondrous creatures might be, it's something that I always do, is whenever I see a spectacular sunset, unless I'm hot on the tracks of another animal, I always try and stop myself and force myself to have a look at the beauty of an evening like this evening. Right, well, from a spectacular sunset to a spectacular animal, Brent has been successful in his pursuit, so let's head across to him and the Queen of Djuma.
So, the Queen has graced us with her presence, and she's behaving a bit more like a queen and not blowing spit bubbles this evening. And look at that, isn't that stunning? Lying up right in front of the Gallagher Lodge, next to the waterhole. So it doesn't look like she managed to catch an impala during the day. But this is one of her favorite haunts around the lodge here. Look at that sky behind her. Isn't this just an incredibly serene sighting? Can you hear all the different birds? The red-chested cuckoo. And Jacobin cuckoo calling as well. And crested in the Tel Franklins. So we were talking about birds giving alarm calls at leopards, and Beth's wondering why would they do that when a leopard won't eat them. I'm afraid, Beth, they will, especially when leopards are young. They spend a lot of time hunting everything they can. And they just don't like predators around. And when they're alarmed at, leopards don't like to hang about, so they move out of that area quite quickly. They prefer to have their presence not known. Absolutely gorgeous animal. Listening to all the sounds that are about. You can see how hot it is by her panting. Very interested to see where she's going to move next. First a bit of preening. You can see that very distinctive sort of nibble, to try to remove ticks and fleas. And I'm afraid not even the Queen of Djuma can escape the ectoparasites. Constantly aware. See how she just checks if she hears a little sound nearby. Well, a big welcome to Anna, who's a new viewer, who's wondering which leopard this is. Anna, this is Karula, the Queen of Djuma. And when she turns to face us, you'll see a very distinctive set of spots in between her eyes. And with a bit of imagination, you can see that they spell out the word wow. Oh, it looks like she's going to be up and about. Unfortunately, she is heading into a very difficult area. If she goes directly to the north of us, it's a myriad of little, actually a nightmare of little drainage lines.